Hey guys, King of Charm Managers here, and today I bring to you the best elemental attack bow builds for the Rajang Coil Season 3 meta. This video analyzes the best bow builds for elemental attack as of Curse of the Wandering Flame. And elements that are considered elemental attack are fire, water, thunder, ice, and dragon. And some elements have multiple build options that you can choose from. First, we're going to start off with how the Rajang Coil changes the elemental attack meta. The Rajang Coil gives Focus Level 3 at Grade 8. This allows you to get Focus Level 5 with just 2 pieces of armor. So I see right here, the new meta, yay! One piece that has Focus Level 2 and Rajang Coil with Level 3 equals Level 5. Before, for the old meta for Season 2, you need 3 pieces, and those 3 pieces were actually featured on the most used equipment for the 1-year anniversary, and there is no surprise why. And elemental attack bow builds were always limited because a lot of elements don't have a lot of options to get elemental attack level 5 as high as possible. A good example of this you're going to see is Ice and Dragon later on. They just don't have a lot of options for you to slot them in and to get Ice attack or Dragon attack level 5. First, we're going to start off with the fire element, and here we have the top 5 fire elemental bow builds. So this compares the top 5 fire attack bow builds updated to Season 3. And as you see, most of these builds have elemental attack level 5 maxed out. The difference between the biggest one and the number 5 is 1.18%, so it's really low. But per the data, the top build uses attack boost and the new Aknason Greaves to provide fire attack level 2 at grade 6. And this brings us to the Season 3 best fire bow build number 1. Focus 5, fire attack 5, and attack boost 2. This build maxes out fire to fire attack level 5, and focus level 5 is provided by the Nightshade Paluma Mail and the Rajang Coil. So that kinda sucks. If you haven't played the paid ticket event, or if you haven't slayed enough Nightshade Palumus, you probably don't have a grade 8 Nightshade Paluma Mail just yet. This also has a practical theoretical damage value of 4,238. And the thing is, before Season 3, the Rathalos Coil was used for fire attack level 1 and focus level 1. But thanks to the Rajang Coil, we can now have 3 slots, and that leads to an upgrade to the fire elemental bow builds for Season 3. To use this build, you need the Rathalos Bow at grade 8 or as high as you can get it, the Rathalos Helmet at grade 6, the Nightshade Paluma Mail at grade 8, the Anjanath Fan Braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Aknason Greaves at grade 6. Next up we have water. And the top 5 water elemental bow builds are what we're comparing right here when they're updated to Season 3. Most of these builds have elemental attack level 5 maxed out. And per the data, the top build uses weakness exploit level 2, but only has elemental attack level 4. So the Rajang Coil made something interesting here. Well, something that's not elemental attack 5 isn't the greatest. But it's really cool because I know y'all are somewhat sick of seeing the Rathalos Coil, but it's still in this build. So that's what you have for one option at least. And the second best build barely loses to the top build by 0.28%, or 12 points of attack to be exact. But the second best has elemental attack level 5. Doesn't look like it matters, however, if you do have a monster that is weak by 150% to its elemental weakness, then you want that extra level. And this brings us to the Season 3 best water bow build number 1. Focus 5, water attack 4, and weakness exploit 2. So this build has a high level of water to water attack level 4. For the expensive option, you have focus level 5 that's provided by the Nightshade Paluma Mail and the Rajang Coil. And you have the cheaper option, where focus level 5 is provided by the Rathalos Helm and the Rajang Coil. The reason why number 1's more expensive is because Nightshade Paluma needs to be at grade 8 in order for you to get that focus. It has a practical theoretical damage value of 4,300, and before Season 3, you couldn't slot in the Rathalos Coil or Coral Puke Helm for weakness exploit 2, so that extra slot really does matter. For the first one, the expensive option, you will need the Mizutsune Bow at grade 8, grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Coral Puke Helmet at grade 8, the Nightshade Paluma Mail at grade 8, the Gyrototus Fan Braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Great Jagras Greaves at grade 6. For the second one, the cheaper option, you need Again, the Mizutsune Bow, grade 8, grade 10, or as high as you can get it. The Azarathos helmet at grade 6. The Rathalos mail at grade 6. The Gyrototus fan braces at grade 6. The Rajang Coil at grade 8. And the Great Jagras Greaves at grade 6. Oh wait, there's more! For the Season 3 Best Water Bow build number 2, you got Focus 5 and Water Attack 5. So this build maxes out Water to Water Attack level 5. And for the expensive option, Focus level 5 is provided by the Nightshade Paluma Mail and the Rajang Coil. Again, grade 8 needed for the Nightshade Paluma Mail, so it's expensive. And for the cheaper option, Focus level 5 is provided by the Azarathos Helm and the Rajang Coil. This has a practical theoretical damage value of 4,288, and again, it's not very far from the first one, so if you want this one, go for it. And before Season 3, you couldn't slot in extra armor pieces to max out Water Attack level 5. Level 4 was the standard until the Rajang Coil came along. If you want to build the expensive option, you need the Mizutsune Bow at grade 8, grade 10, or as high as you can get it, the Mizutsune Helmet at grade 6, the Nightshade Paluma Mail at grade 8, the Gyrototus fan braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Great Jagras Greaves at grade 6. As for the cheaper option, you have the Mizutsune Bow at grade 8, again at grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Azarathos Helmet at grade 6, the Gyrototus Mail at grade 5, the Gyrototus fan braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Great Rajang Greaves at grade 6. Next up, we're finally done with water, and we move on to the top 5 Thunder Elemental Bow builds. So this compares the top 5 Thunder Attack Bow builds updated to Season 3. And most of these builds have Elemental Attack level 5 maxed out. In fact, 3 of them do, and they do follow the same one as the water build from last time, where you have the Rathalos Mail for weakness exploit level 2 for some of them. But per the data, the top build uses Burst level 1, and this is thanks to the Zinogre Greaves. Get that to grade 6, you get Burst level 1 along with 1 level of Thunder Attack. And now we have the Season 3 Best Thunder Bow build number 1. You got Focus 5, Thunder Attack 5, and Burst 1. So this build maxed out Thunder to Thunder Attack level 5, and Focus level 5 is provided by the Azarathos Helm and the Rajang Coil, with a practical theoretical damage value of 4,270. It's about 200% more than the top 5 one, the bottom one on the top 5, but it just shows you Burst is king when it comes to Thunder. Because before Season 3, Thunder level 4 was only possible, and you couldn't have Burst level 1. For this build, you need the Zinogre Bow at grade 8 or at grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Azarathos Helmet at grade 6, the Kezu Mail at grade 6, the Zinogre Van Braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Zinogre Greaves at grade 6. And now that we're done with Thunder, we now have Ice. And here we have the top 5 Ice Elemental Bow builds updated to Season 3. Comparing all of them, you see that most of these builds actually have Kushala Frostwind maxed out. They actually don't have Ice Attack. And per the data, the top build doesn't use the Rajang Coil, however it does require 3 Elder Dragon pieces. We're looking at Rajang meta, and it's the top number 5. In fact, that's the only build in the top number 5 that uses the Rajang Coil and doesn't even have Elemental Attack. And for that Rajang Coil build, we have the best Ice Bow build with Focus 5, Burst 2, Weakness Exploit 2, and Kushala Frostwind 1. Take a note, this is the best build using the Rajang Coil and not requiring 3 Elder Dragon pieces. Even though that one for number 1 is the best one for Drift Smelt, we're not trying to do this here. It needs the Rajang Coil, and here it is. And this build has Kushala Frostwind at level 1. Focus level 5 is provided by the Gyrototus Greaves and the Rajang Coil, and has a practical theoretical damage value of 4,117. This is only like 1.5% less than the top one, so even if you don't have those 3 Kushala pieces, it's still pretty dang good. The Kushala Dior Mail does not need to be grade 8 as well. I just have it right here, like you see right here, but you don't need it at grade 8, it can be grade 6. And this isn't a surprise because before Season 3, Ice already had trouble with flexibility due to the lack of Ice Attack support. You don't have a lot of pieces out there, unfortunately, so hopefully future updates means more Ice Attack armor. And to use this build, you need the Legiana Bow at grade 8 or at grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Coral Puke Puke Helmet at grade 8, the Kushala Dior Mail at grade 8, the Rothian Van Braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 6, and the Chirotodus Greaves at grade 6. And last but not least, we move on to the final element, the top 5 Dragon Elemental Bow builds. And we compare the top 5 Dragon Attack Bow builds updated to Season 3. And most of these builds have a mixture of skills and only Dragon Attack level 1. This has always been the way it is with Dragon Elemental, so we're gonna look at it with the Rajang Coil. And per the data, the top build uses Latent Power level 2 along with Focus 5. That's pretty much how it's always going to be when it comes to Dragon, because Dragon Attack has Latent Power in it, which is why you have that one level of Dragon Attack with a lot of these builds. Moving on, we have one of 2 builds for the Dragon element, starting off with the best Dragon Bow build for Season 3, number 1. Focus 5, Peak Performance 4, Weakness Exploit 2, and Latent Power 2, along with a little bit of Dragon to Dragon Attack level 1. Focus level 5 is provided by the Chirotodus Greaves and the Rajang Coil, with a practical theoretical damage value of 4,286. Before Season 3, Dragon already had trouble with flexibility due to the lack of Dragon Attack support. We only have Devil Joe and Pink Rothian that provides Dragon Attack gear. That's really limited. Hopefully we're going to get more in the future. And the thing about this build is that in order for you to get that theoretical damage value, you need Latent Power to activate. For this build, you need the Devil Joe Bow at grade 8 or at grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Coral Puke Puke Helmet at grade 8, the Devil Joe Mail at grade 6, Devil Joe Van Braces at grade 6, Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Chirotodus Greaves at grade 6. And here's that number 2 build I was talking about, the best Dragon Bow build number 2, Focus 5, Peak Performance 4, Weakness Exploit 2, Critical Eye 2, and Dragon Attack 1. So this build has little Dragon Attack to Dragon Attack level 1. There's 2 ways you can do it. For the expensive option, Focus level 5 is provided by the Chirotodus Greaves and the Rajang Coil. And the reason it's expensive is because your Wex source is coming from the Coral Puke Puke Helmet at grade 8. As for the cheaper option, Focus level 5 is provided by the Azarathlos Helm and the Rajang Coil. And this has a practical theoretical damage value of 4,271. Not that much lower than the other one. And again, there's 2 ways you could do it. And the thing is, before Season 3, you couldn't use as much support for canceling the negative affinity. This will put you in the positive affinity. So it's negative 30% when you have Weakness Exploit 2 and Critical Eye. You can go to 40% when you attack weak spots. So it's plus 10%. For the first one, we have the expensive one for this build. You have the Devil Joe Bow at grade 8 to grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Coral Puke Puke Helmet at grade 8, the Odogaron Mail at grade 6, the Devil Joe Van Braces at grade 6, the Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Chirotodus Greaves at grade 6. As for the cheaper build, you need again the Devil Joe Bow, grade 8 or grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Azarathlos Helmet at grade 6, the Rathalos Mail at grade 6, Devil Joe Van Braces at grade 6, Rajang Coil at grade 8, and the Kuluyaku Greaves at grade 6.
Time we get him in our sights, he jumps somewhere else! He's too fast for us!
We have the power to destroy him now, but we don't have the time. Willis was right. We have to find some way to slow down Diaboromon.
Ah yes, slowing down, that's something I don't really do, but in case you're wondering, I do make my own videos. I don't have an editor, so if this took a while because I know some people requested this video. Sorry, it just took a second because I have to put all of the slides and everything, do all of the research, and then after that I put together a video. It's not as clear cut as it looks. If it looks easy, it's because I make it look easy. That's what happens when you've been making content for several years. You get better, and here you go. I found a system that works. And hopefully this video helped you with what elemental attack bow builds to go after for Season 3. And in case you're wondering about the elemental status ones, I'm going to make a separate video for those ones, so stay tuned. Those are coming very soon. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully your Season 3 drops are treating you very well, and your Rajang Coil doesn't take you very long, or if you already have it, congrats. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.